Hello, and welcome to the Coach Therapy Podcast. I'm Coach Q, and I am so excited that you decided to tune in today. We're going to take a journey through vulnerability so that we can reach clarity, healing, growth, and success. You're going to learn some things about you, you'll learn some things about me, but most importantly, you will receive tools every episode that will help you to become better every single day. Enjoy Coach Therapy. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Coach Therapy Podcast. I'm Coach Q, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode and for just being willing to join my session, right? And where I get to be vulnerable, I get to share some things that hopefully um, you can connect with and can learn from and glean from. So, thank you. Thank you for being back. I hope that you are well, and I just kind of want to get into it, y'all. I want to get into it. I'm gonna open up a little bit and share, be a little vulnerable today, because I think it's gonna be helpful. Uh, as many of you know, sports junkie here. No surprise. By now, I love sports, and I am fascinated with the whole Deion Sanders in Colorado. I've been watching it all season, and they had some ups and some downs, and I've just kind of tapped into his journey because you know he went into the league in the 80s, and I was just born in mid 80s, so I'm like when he went into the league, I'm like 4 or 5 years old. So Neon Dion, I don't know a ton about it. I definitely have went back, done my research. Who is prime time, Deion Sanders, all of the things which I have now grown to know and love. And I'm like, when I see his highlights, I'm like, oh my God, he was electrifying. I remember when I was a kid, he was playing for like the 49ers, and that was, deep into his career. It's neither here nor there. I want to share a quote that I heard him say in a documentary. And then I want to tell you how I flipped the quote and how I rewrote it to fit where I am and this particular season of my life. So he wrote a quote that says, in the moments in your life where you are receiving more light than you are giving, make a conscious effort to give more light. And he was sharing that because he was like, we go through seasons where we can get so much praise as we make so many accomplishments and do so much in life that we might enter a season where we're receiving more light than we're giving. And in that case, we need to give more light. And that resonated with me because I am truly a giver through and through at the core. And so I did an inventory of myself, like, yo, I want to make sure I'm giving enough and making sure my light is shining and making sure that I'm not getting caught up in accolades so much so that I am not giving more light, right? Because sometimes the light can just be on us. We might be in a season of the light being on. Trust me, I done had a lot of seasons where the light been off too. And this season, I think the lights are flickering, but here we are. um, but I looked at that quote and it spoke to me because I said we got to make sure that we're giving. However, I was pondering on that and I was reading it, and then I rewrote it to say, in the moments in your life where you are giving more light than you are receiving, make a conscious effort to continue to give and not allow the weight and the emotions of giving to dim your light. Don't allow the weight and the emotions of giving to dim your light. Let me tell y'all, vulnerable moment. Can I have this vulnerable moment with you? I am about a year removed from a very significant relationship that I had in my life. And in that relationship, I was giving more than I was receiving. And there was a season where I was so angry by the lack of reciprocity that I begin to dim my own light because I made up in my mind I am not going to give anymore. I'm not giving anymore. It's too much because all of this good, and y'all know how pain show up. Pain will make you just change who you are. Like, I ain't doing that no more because that hurt. And I'm not doing that no more because it don't serve me. And I'm not doing it anymore because every time I do it, I never see how it benefits me. And what we end up doing is not just taking the light from the individual that may not be deserving of it, but we dim our entire light. We stop showing up in the fullness of who we are. And we make a conscious decision that because I've been hurt in this one area by this one individual, then I am not going to share my light with the people that are assigned to me, the people that love me, the people that need it. And I am not proud, but I will be honest that that was me. I said, that's it. Not doing that no more. And I was so angry. I was so upset with my light. I was so upset. Like, I hate this light. I hate it because it's like I'm able to see the power that it brings into spaces, and I'm able to see the way it lights up a room and lights up somebody's life and how beneficial it is for them. But I didn't see that for me. And a year removed from what was devastating for me, I've learned so much about me. I've learned so much about my light and about the continuation of shining it even in the toughest times. You don't be walking around the house just flicking on lights when it's sunny and it's daytime. You be like, hey, cut them lights off. You trying to save, right? And so it's funny how when things are well, of course, the light is easy. It is darkness is when the light is needed the most. And sometimes we allow the dark seasons in our lives to make us want to just shut off all of the lights. And I've been there. I've been there. And I want to talk to that person that you're just exhausted by your light. Your energy is low because you keep allowing your light to burn for other people. And I know it sounds crazy, but continue. Continue to let your light shine. And the reason why is because sometimes we shine our lights in places that don't appreciate it, in rooms that don't need it. And when it's not appreciated and we don't see the need for it, we cut it off. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to go and shine it in somewhere else, someplace else that needs it, where it's going to be valued and appreciated. I don't want you to change who you are and turn off the beauty of who you are because of the pain that you have experienced. I do want to pause and say that I'm sorry for the pain that you've had to endure and for the times that you've shown up for other people and they didn't show up for you, and the time when you've given your all and received nothing in return, the times when you felt undervalued and underappreciated, and when you didn't feel seen and you didn't feel heard. I know I'm not the person that has done that to you, but if a sorry is what you need to keep your light going, I am so sorry that you've had to endure that. I'm so sorry that you've had to just experience so much pain. But please, don't allow your light to be dim. Don't turn it off because there are spaces where they are looking for the light that you carry. I can't walk in a room with that light and nobody else can. You, only you, because it's assigned to you. And so When you find yourself in a space of giving so much light and you're not receiving it, continue to find a way to let it shine. I know it sounds simple or it sounds crazy. You might be like, good, Coach Cute. That was cute. But no, because I'm tired. I know what it is. I ooh, I know what it is, but I am so grateful that I can say that I am better because I didn't allow my light to be turned off by my circumstances. I didn't allow my inner light to be turned off because pain. Now did was it flickering? I'm telling you, that light, it was flickering. Y'all. I was going back and forth. And there was some days where I was like, that's it. I don't even want this light. I don't want to carry this light. I've been there. But I am grateful because now today I realize that I needed even that dark season. It's the thing about dark seasons. Dark seasons not only teach us about other people, but they teach us about ourselves. It was in the dark season where I really learned the value of what I carry. It was through the lack of appreciation and reciprocity that I saw the value because I had spent a lot of time. Let me let y'all in my business for 2 seconds. I had spent a lot of time trying to force my value onto someone. Like, see it? Don't you see? Isn't it a good light? It's so bright. It's so everything. And I'm saying light metaphorically, and light is because those are all of the wonderful things that I carry, right? And I spent so much time like, see, giving it here and overextending and just exhausting myself so much so that I just didn't understand that the light was for me. Like, I was so busy trying to give it away. I didn't understand how it was supposed to be beneficial in my life. See, when we shine our light in rooms and in relationships that don't know how to handle us, then they don't utilize the light properly. So we can be mishandled because we're trying to force our value in spaces that can't even comprehend what we're really bringing. And it is such a great feeling to no longer force my value onto other people. And it's a beautiful feeling to not shine my light in relationships that are committed to darkness. You know the saying, go to where you're celebrated and appreciated. Sounds so cliche, but there's so much power in it. And I am just so grateful to be a year removed from what I thought was going to break me and destroy me. I'm better. I am so much better because of what I've gone through. And truth be told, my light is brighter. It's brighter than it's ever been. And I'm stronger than I have ever been. And I have more confidence than I've ever had. And I've experienced more joy, my God, than I have experienced in a long time. But it's because I did not allow my circumstances to make me just cut off my light and change completely. You are so valuable and you're so needed and you're loved. But if you continue to try to force your value in spaces where it just doesn't belong, you will never believe any of those things about yourself. Now is the time not to change everything about you to fit into different spaces and relationships, but it is time to change your circumstances so that it's a complement to who you are and what you bring. It's not always changing the way we show up, but it's where we show up that needs to change. Stop forcing yourself at a table that doesn't even understand your greatness. Stop forcing yourself to show up in rooms where you're not celebrated. Every time we do that, when we force ourselves and we are dimming our light because we getting burnt out. We getting burnt out by just the force and the push and the pull. And no. And so I don't know who in your life will tell you that. I know I had people in my life to tell me, and I couldn't hear because I couldn't hear them. I couldn't understand them. I felt like y'all don't understand. You don't know. Stop, stop. Hey, pull it together. I know where you are, and I've been there. But I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for where I am today. And so I wanted to let y'all in a little bit because I'm amazed at just the way that God has helped to put me back together. I am amazed at the way that healing works. I have learned that healing is not this big event. It is the it is the consistent hurdles that we overcome that leads to the ultimate victory. And a lot of times we don't know and just until something happens and we say, "Oh, that don't hurt no more. That don't feel like that no more." And for me it was, "Oh, wait a minute. My light is still on and it's shining bright and it's lighting up rooms, it's lighting up lives, and it's lighting up my future." Y'all are listening to a woman that was broken a year ago, heartbroken, and just didn't know how I was going to pull it all together. And it was a process. But what I'm most grateful for is that I held on to my light. And the same light that experienced rejection and pain is the same light that is bringing joy and healing into the lives of so many people. So let this be your reminder to hold on to your light, even in the darkest of situations. I appreciate you for joining this podcast today, for rocking with me continuously. And I just want you to have an amazing week. And I want you to continue to allow your light to shine. Take care of yourself.